Welcome back to another Small Business Appreciation Spotlight. My name's Renee Pina, and today's sponsor is a very unique and well-known business, and I believe one of the hottest places in all of Orange County, a place that truly embodies community, culture, while supporting global awareness and responsibility. Have you figured it out yet? That's right. We're at Kean's Coffee, and we're going to meet the owners and learn about their story. Follow me in. Cheers.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Cheers.
That's good stuff.
Well,
Welcome, everybody. We're here with the owner, Martin Dietrich of Kean's Coffee. I'm going to hear a story. I love that you grew up in Guatemala and you came from very humble beginnings. Tell us a little bit about that.
My family's been involved in coffee for generations, literally for over 160 years on both my mom's and my dad's side of the family. We're a German family, and that's where most of that took place. But for a large part of the last century, my family has been involved in coffee farming in Central America. My grandmother had a coffee farm in Costa Rica between World War I and World War II, and that came to an end. And then my direct family, my brothers and I included, we went back down to Central America, Guatemala this time, however, and where we had a small little working family coffee farm. It was a lot of hard work. So I literally grew up growing coffee on our family's farm. My parents came here to Orange County in 1973 and started roasting coffee in a coffee roasting machine. My dad, he was a German engineer, he's a quintessential German engineer, and he decided down on the farm in Guatemala that he wanted to build his own coffee roaster. So he invented one and he built it. And he then brought that up here in 1973 and started roasting coffee literally across the street, right over there.
Really?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
on Irvine Avenue here in Costa Mesa. And so that machine and my dad were Orange County's first coffee roaster. Nobody was doing anything even remotely close to that before that.
70s.
Yeah, this was 1973 and
Wow.
74, and that's kind of where our local tradition began. Our heritage goes back way further, but our local tradition and renown began then, and we brought these prized coffees from all around the world and fresh roasted them on location, and that's what earned us the acclaim that we now have. So anyways, so this time it was my wife and I together. We started again from scratch. Of course, however, this time I had lots of experience, which I didn't have the first time around, and I knew exactly what to do and how to do it impeccably well. All of those 21 years of prior experience at Dietrich Coffee, where all of the trial and error occurred, was now part of what I brought to the table with what we did here with Kean Coffee. And our ambition at the time when we started, and still is today, is to not just do more of the same of what I had already done, and not to rest on my laurels with that either, but to take coffee to the next level, to the level of really a culinary art. And it was more about the future, not about the past. And that's what we're doing here. We're a small, local, family business with about 55 of our wonderful employees that work with us, not for us, and that we're the team together that, and we serve our community here. That's what we do.
I love it.
And a big part of what sets us apart also, of course, is that we roast our own coffee fresh every day on location in the coffee house. Our coffee is always fresh roasted, and we happen to know a few things about how to do that well and how to do it right, and that's what
The success
ultimately makes it happen in the cup, right?
I mean, it really is delicious. And what I love about your coffee is that you, like you said, the culinary. Tell me about the Turkish latte, because that is something so unique. I mean,
well, it is. You know, it's interesting. Yes, it is unique, and a couple of other companies, coffee companies, I won't mention, they used to frequent here all the time and try to reverse engineer it to try to see if they can knock it off, but I don't expect it's really that hard, but I know how. So
but the concept is
the idea,
unique.
right? The idea was for me is to create a coffee beverage that pays homage to the origins of the coffee house, which really originated in the ancient Middle East.
Really?
That's something that we don't understand, or really, I should say, we don't appreciate here in this country. We have no idea, by and large, that a lot of our coffee drinking culture and coffee house culture comes from the ancient Middle Eastern cultures.
Wow.
You know, coffee actually originates in Eastern Africa and Ethiopia, right across the Red Sea from Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, and so that's where they had access to coffee way before people in Europe drank coffee. And they had a flourishing coffee house culture, a thriving coffee house culture in the Middle East and in Turkey way before Europe. And so my Turkish latte was to pay homage to that. Now, I didn't want to use and make a Turkish coffee because that's not really my own tradition. And it's a beverage so different that if you don't pour a ton of sugar into it, the American palate can't really accept that. So I took a beverage that everybody's more familiar with as a latte, and I adapted some things to that. Cardamom, in large part, is a spice that people haven't really associated with coffee before, but in the Middle East it's very common, and so I made what we call a Turkish latte.
Yeah. And you've got so many different things that I noticed over the years that you started to incorporate. You've got a vegan line of, foods and stuff. And that alone, it's just you're servicing more than just the coffee users. People who can come for lunch, who can come for, a snack and really enjoy that. And that really, embodies this whole community where people come here for more than just coffee. It's a gathering place. So, Martin, you are awesome. I mean, your story is so encouraging. And just to even learn about the origin of coffee is, I think, something all of our viewers will appreciate. And, you're just so locally known here, and this is one of the hot spots, and I appreciate you sharing your story with us today. Thank you so much.
It's been fun indeed.
It has.